You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Tales from the Flipside. CBSI presents Tales from the Flipside, episode number 127. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but we're back here again on Monday nights for everybody. I got the super fans going today because it's 118 degrees out right now. So
you haven't burst into flames like a firestorm out there?
Not yet. But we got a couple more people that are going to join us here in a couple seconds. So might have a full house tonight, gentlemen. Introduce yourselves.
Jon Z from the not quite as hot as their Midwest. Having a good day and looking forward to talking some comics today.
Hell yeah.
Deno, I'm going to say on pickups, I have 2 books no one's ever seen.
Oh.
Good deal.
I'm going to leave it with that.
Do it. Nope, I'm not. I don't care if I'm on call. I'm not coming into work. I'm on the flip side. Leave me alone. Pete Up's here. Finally.
Woo!
Maybe just got fired, but it's okay.
and in perfect timing, like he knew he was going to jump in right away, right when he was being introduced, the one and only Nico Esquire. With his shitty internet.
It's good to be here. I hope that I'm not delaying. And time will tell whether or not the tin cans and string works.
2 seconds into the podcast, he's already delaying. So let's go.
Oh, those are not good.
But I think it's working. It's working good now, though.
No.
It's better.
Okay.
Check your mic settings, though.
It's a matter of time till it fails. The hour man is back.
Yeah. So hopefully Stein's going to be joining us shortly, too.
I believe he was jet setting to a new location, so that's his problem.
Yeah. So for you guys that don't know, Stein is located in some random new place every show from a movie, usually is what he does it. So for those of you in chat tonight, try and guess what movie he's coming from. Play a little game here. Play along with us. Craziness for me just because of how fucking hot it is. But what's been going on in news and notes this week, gentlemen?
Well, I thought we'd kind of start out talking about some TV kind of streaming stuff coming back around that's closing in. Umbrella Academy had their trailer drop for season 2, and The Boys is real close to coming live again here in the next week or so. So I guess the question is, do we think they're going to pop again? Do we think they're just going to stay stable? Is there new things that are going to pop? You know, what happens on a season 2? I mean, Walking Dead kind of defined how it used to work, and you kind of a cycle of the season's downtime, and then as it comes back and spike a bit. Is that going to happen with these streaming networks?
I don't know. I feel like the streaming networks are kind of falling apart, but not the one that The Boys and Umbrella Academy are on, I guess, so that's good. If it were on Disney, or not Disney, but DC or something like that, maybe I would think twice, but
I feel like The Boys would carry some more weight with it than Umbrella Academy as far as spec and price.
I think there's a lot more source material for The Boys as far as, you know, issues and keys and people that pop up in the show, because, you know, they really kind of stuck to a pretty tight storyline in season 1. But I guess I just am more curious, do we think we'll see kind of a resurgence in interest? People going, you know what, I really like the show? Or did they all buy those books the first time and are sitting on them?
Well, it's interesting because season 2 of Umbrella Academy follows the Dallas story arc. So that second series, particularly the Jim Lee variant of issue number 1, are going to be the telling books. I kind of hedged my bets, right? So both commercials were really good, the teasers, but I dumped a lot of boys books and held on to a lot of Umbrella Academy books. We'll see whether or not that was a smart move or not. But it's hard to tell.
Well, both did pretty
That was
well
also
the initial season.
Yeah, and I think that was also a function of the timing, right? So, like, I put my boys' books up promptly after the teaser, before the second season, hoping that I could get a flipper to buy them because they weren't pressed, they weren't graded. It was kind of like a lot aimed at somebody else who was trying to flip them after I sold them. Because of the delay with Umbrella Academy, I've got a little bit more time to kind of curate and dig through boxes and pull out more books.
The Colonel brought up Old Guard. Anybody have a chance to watch that yet? I have not.
I did. It was well, I'm gonna say since
It's good.
Did you think so? I kind of was.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was half in, half out on it because I was watching the kids, so I kind of like I had to go back and rewind a bunch of times. But I mean, it was okay. I mean, I won't ruin it, but I'm excited for newer things, I guess we'll say. But it'll be. I thought it was good. I mean, Charlize Theron was okay. I mean, I don't think it was like the greatest movie ever, but I mean, it wasn't a complete pass. I mean, it's good. I would say, I guess I didn't read the comics, but it's good about it's a good sit down and relax and enjoy, and you don't have to really think too much, I guess.
Yeah, Kyle saying the comic was hard to read. It jumped all over the place.
Yeah, the whole thing jumped all over the place. So
they do it in the movie too.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth, but it's easier visually to see it, I guess, on the movie with with good stuff instead of looking at panels and stuff. So, without further ado, the man with the plan.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, man.
I guess it was Hollow Man. That's what I guess because you weren't here with Kevin Bacon. That's what I guess. So.
Hollow Man.
Is this a movie or a TV show? That's in the background.
It is a movie.
So, I think we still have the age-old question: is something that gets released all in one kind of chunk going to do well, or because we consume this media so fast, is it going to do okay, or do we need the old style TV show that has 12 weeks worth of interest to really make a dent in profits and sales?
I mean, does it matter if it's a full season of a show versus a movie? Isn't the formula almost always the same in the sense of, buy on spec if you're early enough and then either sell at the first trailer or sell before then when there's casting announcements. And then if you wait, at least sell like when it's released. I don't know how much stuff does so much better after something's released is what I'm getting at.
Well, I think TV used to have that. The Walking Dead had so many opportunities for people to join new because it was ongoing so long. They had 10 to 12 episodes. They'd break up into different parts of the year, and they'd pick up more steam.
And new characters were always getting debuted, too.
Yeah, and now that you release it all, Umbrella Academy is going to be a single-day release, I assume.
Right.
And, people can stream that in 12 hours, and then they're done.
Yeah, in Walking Dead, for instance, you could spec ahead, and you probably do the same thing with The Boys as far as, all right, we know these characters are probably going to die. We know they're going to introduce this character because we've read the series and we know what's going to happen, or based on covers, whatever, and you can buy those ahead of time. So if it's an ongoing, I think you can drag out some spec money making more than if it's all at once.
Yeah.
But then I just contradicted myself because I just said you could do it with The Boys. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know what a round two is going to do. This is kind of unprecedented because these were really big shows, and a lot of times it's not. We haven't seen two things that hit so well come back around kind of this timing. So
I mean, look at Watchmen. Watchmen's a perfect example, right? I mean, I guess that was too early for spec for movie, but I mean, the second time around, I didn't see people going out for 9-8 Watchmen's all over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was such an unrelated topic, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot more people have their eyes on screens. I think a lot in the sense of, I think a lot more people are buying their comics online because they can't go to, there's no cons to go to right now. So that could help too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is with Marvel doling it out, 1 week, next week, following week, I think it provides more of an opportunity for characters like U.S. Agent, and these other, like, I don't want to call them minor characters because they're going to be integral to the plot. They're going to be a big deal. But I don't think they would see the kind of, like, huge jumps in price. If those characters are popular the way that Homelander is popular in the TV shows, I think those particular books are going to have a longer spec cycle than, for example, what's the old guy in The Boys who's slated for season 2? You know what I'm talking about? Little bald old guy.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of his name.
I can't either. But yeah, you know what I mean? Where he's going to be like a flash in the pan.
Well, like The Mandalorian's a perfect thing. It built excitement every week. Because you wanted to see what was going to happen next. It was, it engaged you 8 weeks in a row, not just one weekend of streaming shit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching both. My money's on Boys will have a little bit more of a kind of, oh, yes, we really, really like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Oh, yeah, Steve Horn, don't get me started on Stargirl on Monday, man. Mondays is bullshit. I'm going to write them an email and tell them we would all like it moved off of our night.
We kind of touched on that next topic we had for the, money flowing in comics. Why, how, where, and from,
Well, I just keep looking at the market. I mean, we've been in this, most of us, 10 years plus again, if not longer, just never left. And it continually amazes me how much money is getting pumped into all segments of the hobby. Like, sometimes we all get a little pissy about, like, why is so much money going to the Wednesday Warrior numbers? Why is there so much in Knull, who we're going to talk a little bit more in the market report? But where's it all coming from, man? Like, I
think it's coming from. We were saying stimulus checks before, but I think it's people settling into this is the new norm for a while. And so if I'm not going to get my sports, I know I'm not going to buy my season tickets. All right.
The vacations.
Yeah. If I, depending on how you do your budget, if you just, hey, I'm not going to spend, I have the money now because I know I'm not going to do that in the future, then I can, put it into this hobby versus that hobby. I think that's part of it.
Are people putting their vacation to Disney they didn't take into Knull?
Maybe I doubt it.
No, but I think they are doing this right. Like, so if you're not going out to the clubs on Friday and Saturday night, God, I sound old, don't I? Because I am. But anyway, those are the people who are buying Knull.
So a 2-day bar tab covers one,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's, in other words, where people are just locked in, and it doesn't have to be like the bar tab or whatever. The point is, people are just in large part kind of locked in their house. They've got like a little extra discretionary spending. I have a lot of my friends that will just send me like, this weekend's ridiculous shit I bought while I was trapped at my house.
Yeah, it's like the drunken Amazon purchases every day.
I get a new Amazon package every day thanks to the wife.
Well, I guess I also wonder, different, we do this market report, and different ages seem to be having different effects by this new market. I mean, the modern stuff, the real recent stuff really is popping. We talked about the copper age a little bit popping, but silver, bronze, gold, with the exception of a few things, the sales are good. They're moving, but they're not like blowing up crazy. You know what I mean?
I think the most important thing is if you have books that you want to sell, that now is the time.
No, because I think those books bought by retailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you were a little choppy, Nico, but I can definitely agree with that.
Oh yeah. So in other words, like, we can talk about this a little bit later, but Golden Age romance books. That shit is bought by retailers. $3,000 to $5,000 timely books. Retailers. I mean, those are books that are bought by a very small amount of serious collectors and retailers who are also serious collectors. And I think those guys are hit hard. So, there's opportunities there. Now, there's still a lot of money there because you've got big buyers and big collectors all apart. But I don't think you're seeing the incremental spikes like you're seeing with a lot of these modern age books that I think are being. Man, I got $300 I would have went on stupid stuff this weekend. I'm going to buy a CGC 98 of whatever. That's what my gut tells me. I don't know that that's a finite explanation, but I think it's certainly some of it.
Well, the golden age market's its own weirdness, but you had sent me a link to a 181, and I decided not to put it in there because it sold pretty much in the middle of GPA. We've looked at Silver Age books, and they're selling right at, if not a little under GPA. So why are those books not seeing the same bump? Is it because the buy-in is not a weekend of drinking at the club? Or is it, that those folks are investing somewhere else? Why is the modern market having so much cash pumped into it? And Nico, I know you sent me some eBay stuff that you thought was
shenanigans. Shenanigans on my account, all in one weekend. You want to run through them? So I had one large retailer cancel an order of 5 books. They have like 10,000 sales, right? I bought 5 copies of this one book. They gave me this like stupid email that was like, sorry, they were damaged in shipping. Go fuck yourself. And I'm like, not sorry, not okay. Send me evidence. Send me a picture.
What'd they say?
They didn't say shit. So we'll see how that one shakes out.
Do you mind saying what the books were, or do you want to tell us off air?
Well, we can
tell us off air. Yeah,
we can talk about it. But the point is, I wasn't real happy about that one. It was a smart buy on my part. The book hasn't popped, but they've seen me buy every copy on eBay, and are like, something's happening, goofs. And then the next one was on my hip hop variant set. Guys, like, now this is like 15, 20 books and a lot. I'm just blowing out. There were some good ones in there too. Neither here nor there. Dude's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got a better price at a retail shop. Cancel my order after he won the auction. And I'm like, you didn't go buy these 15 books at a retail shop. Like, not that that's a valid excuse for not honoring your eBay purchase, but it's also just a cut and paste nonsense that you're trying to get away with because you're clearly just trying to pump up prices on some fake account with 116 feedback. Thief. On to the next one. This is all, mind you, this Sunday. I got a message that was like, sorry, this eBay account's not a real account. And they just whacked off like $200 off my live auction about like 2 hours before it ended. And I'm like, what?
What's not a real account?
The guy that was the eBay account that was bidding on that book, eBay, through whatever sort of safeguards they used, discerned that this isn't even a real person, and they just removed them from the auction.
Yeah, I wonder how they determine that versus a brand new buyer.
Probably because there was some other fraudulent nonsense that went on, right?
And we've talked about, shill bidding and market manipulation, money laundering through collectibles. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on.
Shenanigans.
And I guess I was kind of leading to this point of, is the modern market an easier place to do that? Because that stuff's not trackable. You buy a Golden Age book, there's only a couple copies of that book. It's hard to just buy something and move it over again. But modern comics, there's so many of some of these things. If you're going to play shenanigans, that's where you play it.
And I guess my opinion is I'm not buying too much on eBay anymore. I'm waiting for. I hate to say it. I don't know if I'm playing with like the edge right here, as I'm waiting for a con, and like I think we're going November, September, me and you. If that con happens, I wonder dealers will be desperate, A, or B, our dealer's going to say, well, we're the first con open. We're just going to see. I mean, everybody's going to flock to us. Are we going to get – am I going to get price guys? It's going to be interesting. Are we going to get an uptick because of this whole we haven't seen a con yet, you know? That's the long play I'm playing right now, I guess. Waiting for a con and see who's been hurting over this 6 months is blowing stuff out just to make money because they haven't made money in the last 6 months or whatever it's been.
I don't know, Z. I mean, I try and get parallels between the comic market and the card market, and the card market is similar. I mean, all brand new stuff is, selling out.
Yep.
Can't find it. Everybody's paying triple, 4 times, buy-in price. I mean, they're just buying everything. It doesn't even matter what it is. It could be garbage, and they're just buying it. And the same thing then you go back to some of like the vintage cards. Way back vintage cards, those are still very just steady.
I think I showed you that this weekend. I hit up Stein, and I had a Willie Mays and that Mickey Mantle. I mean, and in the same breath, that dude had Topps Tribute packs, mind you, going for $50, and a whole box going for $525. I bought those boxes for $100 when they first released, and now they're $525 a case. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, I mean, like the guys from like the '90s and those type of players and stuff like that. Those things are, those are really selling, high, really high. And it's kind of the same thing with comics. I think it's just I think it's a generational thing. I think a lot of the younger people, especially the ones on unemployment, they probably got more money now than they probably ever had with that extra $600.
Yep.
They can spend it. They're like, hey, I'll just spend it on whatever I want. I'm still living in mom's basement, but I'm getting free money.
Yep.
I'll just buy whatever. I don't care. And they know new. They don't necessarily know Golden Age. They don't necessarily know Silver Age. They don't necessarily know, 50s and 60s baseball players or anything like that. So I think that plays into a lot of, the prices that we're seeing some of this stuff is just, it's insane.
Stein, think about this. You could theoretically, right? You could use a stimulus check to buy a Trout rookie 10, right? A base card, right? Theoretically. You'd be around there, ballpark.
Yeah, if you get paid every 2 weeks on unemployment, you're basically getting an extra $1,200 that you wouldn't have. You could go out buying Trout rookie. And I think a lot of these guys are probably looking at like, shoot, I'll just buy that.
And then if you get paid 3 times, right? 3 paychecks or whatever, you can buy a Batman Adventures 12 CGC 98 for like $2,000. Theoretically, 2,100 roughly. Fees and everything, you're out the door at 2,400. And thank you, government. You just got a BA 1298.
Well, the stimulus money's there, but I don't know. I like where Stein's going on the age, and people are more invested. It is at 25 years after the first cycle, that's when the most kind of generational money is going back at it. And we're all in that, what did we buy when we were roughly
cannabis cough
12 to 18, right?
Yeah.
Give or take on Paul being a little younger than us.
Well, right now, one of my buddies, he's just retired, right? And he's a good friend. He's buying all the stuff. He's buying like Robbie the Robot stuff. He's buying stuff that was his stuff back in the day. Now, since he's retired and he's got some money rolling around. I told him he should have bought a Robbie the Robot when I found one for $700, but now they're like $2,000, $3,000. It's rare stuff like that. He goes, I just want to fill my little knick-knack man cave with stuff I had in when I was a kid. Yeah, nostalgia stuff.
That's why most of us collect.
Yeah.
So, are we going to look back at this time in our lives and think that Donnie Cates guy was the Valiant of this fucking generation?
Oh,
wow.
Oh, shots
Fire.
Well, everything he fucking touches, people are buying. Anything he mentions, people are buying. That's the last time I remember seeing that kind of frenzy of anything a guy touches is.
Well, there goes my fucking interview.
Oh, boy.
Nico's like
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying people are like following it like fucking crazy people.
No, I think
because he's weaving a great story, but people are investing a shit ton of money in it.
I think he's a great promoter, I guess you would call it. it's almost. I guess I relate things to wrestling. And yeah, Pine Battle Beast. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I didn't say Valiant was bad. We all loved it, but
No. I think it's wrestling though. I think, or UFC is a good fight. You have to promote yourself and throw yourself out there and stuff like that. I think he's a great promoter, just like Campbell's a great promoter of himself and books and stuff like that. Like, I think these writers and creators and all this other stuff, a lot of them are, trying to branch out and make themselves big names. I mean, with all, if Cage can say, well, I did all these books and all this stuff and and I have a following, it's about the following, right? I mean, that's how you get bigger and better things. Donnie Cates was what do you think? Donnie Cates, 5 years ago was a nobody, right? I mean, anybody hear Donnie Cates 5 years ago? I mean, I didn't, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, now Donnie Cates has a following, and now he's just using his following and say, hey, the more things I do and the more things I say, I mean, if he starts making 3 or 4 good predictions, how many people are going to jump on that? Just like Gary Vee, just like all these other guys you see out there that are trying to make predictions. It's like they're just making a following and making brand awareness better for them guys. I mean, nobody's going to follow you. You got 10,000 people. You got 3 million followers. It's a whole different story. I mean.
Yeah, those guys are good predictors because they're basically, they say something and then people go out and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily they're creating their own market. And Cates is kind of the same thing. I mean, he got started. I mean, it's good for him, but I mean, that's all he has to do is just come up with something. He's like, I'll just say it and people will buy it.
Yeah.
well, there's
Hopefully that's not his intention.
And that's dangerous too, like you said. That's dangerous too, because I mean, you're chasing the unicorn and the dragon there, man. It's never. If you go deep on Donnie Cates stuff, like you said, I mean, you could be burned on the bridges, and Donnie Cates, you have a lot of angry people. Who, I mean, again, right? Yeah, used car salesman is a good one, right?
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a good promotionalist. Why do we know Stan Lee?
Yeah,
But
Stan Lee was a self-promoter and exceptionally good at it. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't take part in all of this, but him versus Kirby and Ditko, he became the star. So and the same thing could be said about Image. I mean, Left Field was a douche, so he didn't make it. But I mean, the Todd father had the pizzazz, the style, and knew how to spin his fucking work. He doesn't do quite the same thing, but I mean, they became the stars because they knew how to promote.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's funny is it's just like the UFC, right? I mean, Conor McGregor became a star because Conor McGregor went out there and promoted himself. I mean, you have to be your own hype man. I mean, Marvel, DC, all those guys, when it comes to writing and the background, I mean, they care about movies and stars and big people like that. If you're the guy who's is out there not promoting yourself, nobody's buying your books, nobody's doing this. So I mean, you gotta give yourself some of that stuff, man. Like
he's also writing good stories right now. So there's a big difference. Like he's writing, like Thor is really good, Venom is really good.
You want to talk about how he can't land?
That's a great point.
Since I blew the interview already, I mean,
I'm not saying he's a bad writer. I'm just saying people are jumping on this shit like he's shitting gold.
Can we finish? Like, I mean, can you just tie it up in a bow? Just one.
Yeah, do it up, dude. Do it up.
Jeez,
Most good writers can't do that. Most good writers can't do that.
Well,
and that's why we get so mad about things like Game of Thrones and Dexter. Endings fucking matter.
Yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't have to do with comics. It could be in any type of media.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trilogies, the third is always horrible
because
the story.
Well, writers are born to write, boys, right? I mean, they're not born to finish things off. I mean, if you're gonna, especially in these one-hit wonder things, if you I guess I'll even say it, right? I'll go out there and say it. Fuck it. If Robert Kirkham didn't, I mean, The Walking Dead, right? I mean, he hasn't finished. I mean, The Walking Dead's still going on. I mean, has he ever had another big hit besides Walking Dead? I mean, not to that magnitude.
Invincible.
Yeah,
well,
Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, I guess.
Did Invincible end well?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, writers.
No,
you're fine. I'm just saying, like, writers are born to write. It's like engineering people, right? Engineering people are born to engineer. I mean, it's okay. It's engineering people are born to engineer, right? It's like when you have you're at rev level F, G, H, Z. They're just gonna keep doing it until they they're keeping themselves in a job. Why would you end something and then you know, that's your bread and butter. It's like Eminem and all these rappers and stuff like that. It's like they're gonna keep making albums until the wheels fall off because that's what
money.
they do. It's money.
How many times has J Z and Too Short retired? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Too Short retires after every album, and then he comes back and goes, "I'm putting out my 15th album. I'm the best in the game."
Yeah.
So.
I
Has anybody got any good guesses yet, Ben?
I don't know.
Someone said him.
Even guessed.
Oh, someone upstairs. Yeah, upstairs. Wow. Someone up in the chat was saying a Mel Gibson.
Nope.
Forever Young.
So for all we want to give,
I'm sure I will say this. This is a famous lighthouse, so I'm sure there are multiple movies that this lighthouse has been in, but I've only got one in mind.
So for all those people in the chat, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you guys. Very lively chat the past couple of shows, and we're going to add a little bit of fun into it. Every show, Ben's going to come. Well, he's going to try to come every show with a badass movie still or TV still or something in the background. Try to figure it out. Play a little game in the chat, and we'll see what we can do for you. So
There's Sean Blair.
It's probably not going to be from a rom-com or some kind of sappy movie. It's going to be something that I would like. It's going to be a movie from something I would like. So that's.
Oh boy, is this the silent era or is this like?
Did you have to purchase the colorized version?
Oh, that's rough.
Is Charlie Chaplin in this movie or not?
Oh, Paul, just go back out and protest, man. Everybody.
hey, do you guys want to get into do we want to get into the market report?
Yeah, do it up.
Yeah, we can.
All right. I think market report, and we got a little extra goodies tonight. So let's go ahead and start this fun stuff up. Let me get everything set up.
Let's start with the Knull because we started there earlier.
The Knull, is that where you want to start?
Yeah, because we were talking. Let's start there.
Stein, you made Paul leave to go to protest now.
Let's start with the first print. The Venom first. All right, so Venom 3 first print, first Knull, has been trudging along very quickly, but I'll start with some census numbers just to give us some perspective. 2368 in the total census, 2012 9/8. That's a pretty big number when you think about it. I mean, that's a big number for something that's compared to any of the older keys. That's a huge number. 375 of them are blue, so there's close to 600 SSs. If we track back the data, April, this was a $100 book. June 1st, it was $100 to $175. July 1st, it was $250. July 12th is the last sale that is on GPA. It was $490. In 2020, there were 203 sales of this book in the range of up to $500. That's crazy to me that much action has happened in this book, that it just keeps going boom, 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 boom. I mean, it is hot potatoing. So lots of activity on this one. If we go to the third print, which we buy because it's the scarcer print, right? That's it. There's less of them. It's got the cover, so that people like the cover. Census data: 591 total. 517 of them are 9/8, so about 1/4 of the other print. 45 or 9/6, and then there's some trash after that. 153 9/8 sales this year. So
what's up with the listing? Sorry, why does it say number 168 on there?
That's the legacy number.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That's so confusing that they do that.
Yeah.
So about 1/4 of the 9/8 of the other one, a little more actually. April 1st, it was a $200 book. June 1st, a $300 book. July 1st, a $350 book. 3 sales at that number. Now, $775 or $755.
Yep.
That's 12 days.
Yep.
That it doubled and changed. 12 fucking days. Crazy to me.
And who would re-up on that? So somebody was looking at that stuff and said, oh, I'm gonna buy this $300 book. How many people were gonna buy a $300 book saying it had room to grow like this? I mean, if you did, hats off to you, man. Hats off, because
there's some chatter in the chat about the 1 in 25. I didn't do some research on that. It wasn't sticking out to me, but I believe this is the highest selling of the 3. Well, 4 books. Second print. There's a 4th print that don't seem to do a ton.
There was actually a 3rd print 9/8 that sold for $1,000 today.
Did it? It wasn't on GPA yet, and it was. I couldn't verify the price.
Yeah. On Flipper Tools, it shows it sold for $1,000.
Okay, it hadn't hit GPA this morning when I looked. So.
No, I think it takes 24 hours to hit GPA.
So yeah, I had seen that sale. I wasn't positive where it landed,
which is just crazy. I mean, it's $1,000.
So when you consider that April 1st it was $200, even July 1st it's $350, so it's tripled. And again, when we're talking a handful of sales, man, how easy is it to kind of finagle that market? I don't know. I just, God love you if you're playing the modern market. You got balls of fucking brass, and I don't have them.
Yep.
I'm fucking scared shitless of it, and I could not invest, $300 to $500 in some of these books that are like up down in minutes. You have to fucking be on the roller coaster, have your hands on the fucking ride, and just go. Hope you don't fall off.
I'd sell it if I had one right now.
If you bought this at cover price,
yeah,
goddamn, you're a lucky man, and I love you.
I mean,
if
even
you're buying at 500, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, even if so, say I bought it at cover price and I sold it for 600 right now. Say that was the highest. Say that was just 2 guys in a bidding war. Even if you sold it for 650, 500, I mean, you got room on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me.
Listen, I'm the worst modern speculator in the market because I am. If I get something that's hot, it hits $100, it's out my door. It's out. I don't have the balls to hold it. And any of you guys that made $750, I'm proud of you.
I mean, I'm the worst too, man. I mean, at the end of the day, anything I buy modern just doesn't heat up. So I mean,
yeah. So I'm not shitting on the market. I just don't understand it, and you guys got fucking balls.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to this Mementic #1 variant, Brian.
Which one is that?
That's the sloth.
See here. Do you see it on there? I'm just not seeing it.
Oh, let's see. Sorry, I wasn't looking at your thing. Hold on.
Oh.
Here, let's just do this.
All right, we'll do that one.
Yeah.
All right, Weird Tales, the Cap America.
Sorry about that mute mic on there. That's my fault, guys. I went for 5901 on there.
Nico talked about this in the market report, but it's such an iconic cover. I wanted to talk about it a little bit again. The Ultimate Captain America horror
I'm butthurt
cover.
about it. I don't have enough money for it.
Yeah, you thought you were going to score it.
I'm butthurt. I don't have enough money for it.
None of us do, man. None of us do.
Cheap. That didn't happen.
We're going to need you guys to get us about 1 million more subscribers so we can buy those books. So share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your dog. But 72 of these guys in the census, a gorgeous, gorgeous, crazy, amazing cover. Highest one is a 8.0 solo highest. Tracking some sales. The lone 7.5 sold in September of 19 for $27,000. A 6.5 sold in March of this year for $13.5. A 3.5 sold in June of last year for $9,500. And a 2.5 sold in January for $5,040. So I'm looking at this one, and it seems like a steal.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly well presenting 3.0. So yeah. I know Nico felt it was going to go cheaper, but man, hindsight, this book was a great freaking grab, whoever scored it.
Oh, no. The only reason I thought it was going to go cheaper is because it lingered until, one morning I woke up and it was just over. And I was like, rats.
It's all right. I sold some pre-code horror that lingered all the way to the end and didn't pick up. So I got bit in the ass.
Oh, Lord.
But beautiful book, and if you bought it, hats off to you, man. Holy shit. Mr. Mystery, number 11.
This was my book. I put this on the list.
Yeah.
I honestly I thought it was gonna go for more than it did.
It was not terrible. I always think of this book, and it makes me think there's a stupid MacGyver issue with fire ants, and I don't know why that episode that makes me stick out about. I saw it one time as a kid, and it makes me terrified like this one. But awesome cover. 50 in the census, 48 blue, a 9.2 being the highest. This exact copy actually sold in August of 2019 for $25.20. So really about the same price. Somebody got in, got out, lost some fees. So sorry for them. There was a May of 20, a 4.0 sold for $9.26, a 3.0 in February for $11.80, and in May a 2.5 for $6.80. So this was really about in line for price. It's not picked up any heat. It is a great cover, but I just don't think it's one of those top 10 or 20 books that people just are always looking for. One of those kind of tertiary cool covers.
Before we move much longer, I want to just give a quick update. Sacto Sanctorum asked if earlier, if we've given away the book that everybody's here for, the Hawkeye #9 second print. We have not given away yet. Stick around towards the end of the show, and we'll be doing that. So you guys had a chance, if you guys watched last episode, to win this book, and everybody that met the parameters, we are working on getting you this book. So we'll get to that towards the end of the show. All right. On to the next one.
All right. All Winners. Timely classic. First appearance of the All Winners squad. Beautiful cover. First appearance of Dr. Storm Shadow in my head.
I was about to say, what the hell are you talking about?
I know it's a doctor, but man, that mask always makes me think Storm Shadow. Canadian sale, so that always throws off the numbers. US dollars was 2,100 and change. 71 of the census. Again, it's a timely. Timely is a whole another breed of collector that makes me cry that they can collect it. 9.0 being the highest. 3 at 8.5, surprisingly. Sales data, a 6.0 sold in July of last year for 4,100. A 4.5 sold in November of last year for 2,000 and change. And a 3.0, there have only been 8 sales of 3.0s. It's a fairly common grade with this book being about 8 of them. 2007, it was 1,500. 2010, it actually dipped down to under 1,000. 2018 had a wide spread between 2,500 and 14 and change. And there was, I think, 4 sales that year, surprisingly. Nothing since then. And this one ended kind of right in the middle of that thing. So it's one of those, it's a good time to buy those secondary, tertiary kind of books where they're not the ones on fire. They're not the ones everybody's talking about. They're probably due for a little bump. It's been kind of in a similar price trajectory for the last 5-10 years. I remember, long ago when ASM 300 was a $1,000 9.8 for close to a decade, it felt like, and then all of a sudden it doubled, So some of these books, if they're staying stagnant, it may be a good time to buy one of those you've been looking at.
All right.
Yeah, I think some things are easily slipped through on Canada eBay or Canada prices.
I will agree, because not everybody watches them. Not everybody wants to deal with the shipping. They get a little, little worried about it. Blue Bolt, a raw book. We don't usually cover those, but a beautiful, beautiful freaking LB Cole cover. I love the colors on this one. It's just
this cover's got it going on.
Jeez. This looks like it should have been in the 60s, man.
Brian is actually still staring at that as in past self, and he'll respond to us in about a day. I showed it to him yesterday, and he's still looking. but beautiful cold cover. It's listed as a very good find, and it presents pretty well. I didn't look too detailed in the interior picture or any of that, but it presents real well. A little writing and the weird, but colors are vibrant. Only 25 in the census, all of them blue. A lone 9.2 and 9.0 is the high. 5.5 sold in March for $13.50. A 4.0 in January of last year for $7.50, and a 4.0 in January for $9.50. I honestly think this was a snag because it might grade nicer than that. I mean, it presents real well. So if there's something off on it, I still think they bought in at a great price.
My recollection is that there's some real bad tanning on one corner. I think that's why I didn't bid on it. But man, does it present super duper well.
I mean, and
yeah, I think it was smart to sell this raw. I didn't know it was going to go at that price tag, though. I thought it was going to go a lot higher.
Well, and even if you buy it in a slab, sometimes you buy the cover because not all 5.5s are equal. You get in those mid to low grades, and there's a beautiful 5 versus an ugly 5. A mullet, as we'll call it. A mullet copy.
Yeah, kind of like that Avengers that's like a 2.0 or something. That Avengers 1 that's a 2.0 that's faded so bad on the front cover you can barely even make out the characters.
Yeah, those are terrible. All right, let's go to Batman Beyond.
All right. Kyle's gonna hate this one.
Oh God.
This one.
Oh.
It blows my mind because I mean this is one of those books I'm sure we all talked about 5 years ago. We're like, yeah, it's $300. It seems like a good buy. But I don't know. What did I hit? 4 or 5? Nah, I'll leave it be. I'm not going to buy that. And holy smokes, who knew?
My buddy Kyle, who's screaming no and hates the world right now, just sold me 2 copies of this the other month.
Oh, Kyle, go kick him in the nuts.
Hey, I got rid of my 9.8 2 months ago for like half that for $600. I thought, man, that's about as high as it's going to get.
Yeah, I remember recently passing on one for like $450, $500. I was like, there's other more important books I should buy.
Yes. Obviously, we're just telling you we're the worst speckers of the business right now.
Yep.
Good grief.
Just some perspective.
There'll be time to buy more of those.
574 total, 214 are 9.8s, 180 are 9.6s. So that's most of it. 2018, the average was 365. That's when I remember looking at this book. 2019, 4 and change, so about steady. 12 months, started to peak. It was about $600. 90-day average is actually 817. And then on the 13th, June 13th actually says there's a higher sale on GPA for $1,500.
Maybe that was a newsstand.
I don't know. They don't do a good job of differentiating. But either way, this 12 freaking hundred in my head, I look at it and go, what? Really? But then when you compare it to like Harley Quinn and stuff, your brain's like, I guess it's not that bad.
I saw a comment in the side that said, "What about like the Six Flags edition?" Actually, if I was going to try and find one that was better, I would stay away from the Six Flags. There is a third print of this, and since with all these multiple printings, the third print is really, really hard to find.
It's a ghost. I've never even seen one sell.
Yeah, no, I saw it on the census, and I was like, "What is that?" I didn't know it existed.
Yeah,
they don't on eBay.
No. No. So yeah, if you're gonna find one, if you can find the third print, that was the way to go.
Yeah, I does it look the same?
It does. It doesn't have the barcode, and it says, I think it says special edition or something like that under the DC logo.
But it's not that Origin Zero.
No, it is not that. It's its own book. It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
I wasn't even. Somebody showed probably a year and a half ago. Somebody showed me a picture of one, and they're like, "Hey, I found this in this store. and I thought it was the first print, but it's not. Do you know anything about this? I'm like, I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen that picture of that book ever,
Wow.
and I haven't seen it since. So
My brain hurts that there's a third print. I've never even heard of it. I honestly did not know it existed until today.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this one, I'm aware this book existed, and I occasionally see listings, but I've never actually focused on a 9.8 sale.
Yeah, I screwed up once recently before the Sandman news. I had a guy who had like super cheap raw copies, and I'm like, you don't need that nonsense. Don't do it. Like a small stack of them that he'd found.
I'm a big fan of Sandman. We've talked about this. There's a couple of us here that Sandman was like our high school. You know what I mean? Like we read Sandman more than we would read, English lit or some crazy shit like that. But
right?
Yeah. I was lucky. I found I got the 75 second print, and that one took me forever to find, but I would come across these all the time. So I probably have at least 2 of them, probably 3.
Do you want to explain how you can tell the difference, right? So you got to go to the interior pages, and
so there's 3 panels that are the color is messed up on them. If I remember correctly, they left out a certain color. So the 3, it says right on there, the 3 blue panels on that page are different color.
Yellow.
There you go.
So, yeah. I don't think it's the most uncommon error. I think there's a decent number of them. You've said you found some, and I see them listed on occasion, but to see a 9.8 seems fairly rare. 42 on the census. Only 9 of them are 9.8. So for a book that, people love, and it's an error edition, that seems a little low. 2017, it sold for $1,100. The highest sale that tracked was in 2019, which might have been a little closer to kind of one of the rumor mills of movies. Sold for $26 and change. 2020's had 3 sales between $1,500 and $1,300. So it's kind of settled back down. Yeah. I don't know if more came to market or just a little less hot commodity right now.
So go to Recalled Comics. They've got the graphic. Once you see it, you won't be able to forget it. And open these books, man. People look for the Sandman 8 Barger editorial. They don't necessarily look for this one. It's a book you can find in the wild, in back issue bins. Go get them.
That's a good question. Does CGC recognize it? Sorry, did you guys already answer that? Yeah.
It has to be. Otherwise, we would know on the slab.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
I would say you probably want to check before you send them CGC because they could easily not look.
Yeah. My favorite market report info of the night. Oh, bam.
With the T-shirts. I mean, holy God, these things. Where are you finding these, Nico? What's your search criteria?
It's what do they say? A sick mind talking to other sick minds about sick ideas. You love it, and you know you love it.
Yeah, because
apparently this tells you a little difference between Marvel and non-Marvel, because I somehow found a vintage Tick shirt I was going to buy.
Yeah, nobody cares.
$28. But these vintage Marvels, this is the 2 more after the other week, is showing $500.
And all I'm saying is, look, sell them to, I don't know, some Hollywood celebrity or whomever wants this. Who cares? But
this is where you hit your freaking Goodwills and go
make that money.
They're already gone from all the Goodwills. Trust me. You want to go to garage sales.
This is because there's people that I know that are shirt collectors, and I've asked them this question before. Why don't you just get the screen print and just make your own? I mean, there's nothing like licensed about these shirts, right?
Same reason we don't buy reprints, the True Believer reprints, right?
Yeah, but how do you want to know if a T-shirt is new or old?
You can tell. They have tags and stuff like that. They're definitely the same way that behind Nico right there. There's that. Let me do this. The same way that behind Nico, there's that sick ass Star Wars poster. The same way that the same way that you can tell that Star Wars poster was used at the theater instead of a reprint or one that was, not used in a marquee, is the same way that you figure that stuff out with the shirts. So,
well, I have this vintage 90s Venom hat that I wore to a con one time, and the guy's like, let me see that. And he looks at the tag and he's like, that's like a $50 hat versus, several $100 hat. I have no idea what he looked at, but there's something.
No, that's not bad.
The manufacturer, who knows? There's something they know.
Let me give a quick tip to all the people out there that don't know much about shirt and hat collecting. There's a couple grails out there. One grail that you would not believe sells for a complete metric shit ton is Space Jam. Space Jam hats, Space Jam shirts, anything to do with Space Jam, go crazy. Yeah, vintage band shirts. Look at Nirvana, vintage Nirvana shirts. They go for ridiculous amounts. But there's all kinds of cool stuff you can find out there.
Wow.
All these young kids are looking for things that they might not know about, but for some reason they think is hip. Kind of like when I was in high school, chicks were wearing bell bottoms again.
But again, I mean, if you're just going to wear
I remember.
why would you spend $600 when you could just reprint it and wear? I mean, if you're just going to wear it, it's not like you're grading it or keeping it forever.
Because that doesn't give you street cred.
Yep. It's the guys used to buy Nike.
Yeah, I remember the day.
If you're walking down the street with a Dr. Doom shirt, nobody's going to have any idea. They're not going to look at your tag and be like, "Oh, that's a $600 T-shirt." Nope. They're going to be like, "Oh, that's a cool T-shirt," and your mind's thinking, "Oh, I got it for $12." I don't understand. I'm confused. Like you would, if you went out and bought a pair of original Jordans, you're not going to wear them.
People do, Ben.
No,
and we're old and curmudgeon-y. Just let it go.
No, it's like people in the Nike shoe game, dude. People gonna buy Nike shoes and they wear them, and I know a lot of guys in the sneaker chat on Discord. They talk about wearing their kicks all the time, man. I mean, and some of them regret it because now they're $400 shoes they bought are $1,200. But I mean,
it's not like you can even reprint a shoe. I mean, you can make a T-shirt look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Today that it looked 30 years ago. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jon Z. We live the same life.
Yeah. I got a question.
I remember vividly the day that my mom threw away all of my clothes.
All your Jim Lee X-Force or your Rob Liefeld X-Force.
I remember I was how did this go? I think I had just been accepted to law school, and she got together with some chick I was dating, and they wanted me to dress like some yuppie or some shit, and they threw away because hey, how you doing? And they threw it all away.
So
I remember that was the end. Like the girlfriend was gone forever. And, I was just like, look, Mom, I love you. I'm taking my belongings from this house.
Yeah. We went through the same thing.
I took all my stuff.
We went through the same thing, but mine was G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, I hear that, like, somebody would want to go back and be like, I remember I had this shirt. Trauma's real.
Before we move forward, the guys don't know I'm going to do this. I got a favor to ask all of our subscribers out there, everybody who is subscribed to the channel, who's maybe watching this now or live. I do have a other podcast that I do. Like, that's surprising, right? I'm a professional podcaster. But my podcast, The Bogcast, that's spelled BOGCAST, is 150 subscribers away from 1,000. So I made a little commercial, and if you guys don't mind, it's going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to play this commercial right as we've got our biggest viewers of the month. And here we go. Let's do it. Can you guys hear that?
Not going yet.
It's not playing yet. There it is.
Just do the left side of your seat. Maybe just like this. All right. I'll check something.
No, go fuck yourself.
I will get in over the weekend. We'll see what it actually looks like. I'm going to try to not get a contact high as I'm walking through it.
Rip.
Really?
Oh my god, dude, that fucking blunt and just fucking hit couch lock.
Oh,
Major out.
in the couch.
Lots and lots of stinky indica buds.
Stinky indica buds.
Stinky indica buds. Stinky indica buds. Stinky
You know what's crazy, bro? Here's why Game of Thrones resonates so much with me. It's because it's all based on like history shit, like medieval history shit. Like real shit. Yeah, real shit. All that stuff really happened. Like the fucking
Dude, it did.
Dragons and White Walkers.
You get the most insane images back.
Yeah.
Of your whole fucking butthole and everything.
There's like a little Lego man up there or something.
Fucking little army toy, like the green ones.
Yeah.
That's another thing called the podcast today. Well, we had a really crazy, wonderful conversation, and I look forward to continuing.
Saxo was an incredibly fertile creative place at that time. We would play these shows at the Cattle Club and pack it out, 500 kids or whatever, and there were just these amazing shows happening. It was all in this tiny little room, and yeah, you got fucking Nirvana and Tad and Soundgarden and Rage and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains. We talk a lot about like how other countries, have legalized or decriminalized it a long time ago, and their recidivism rate and their hard drug rates go down, and the use of cannabis goes down because it's not that forbidden fruit anymore. It's medicine. How do you deal with your kids with it?
My kids don't even want to touch it because to them, it's normal. I try to get them to smoke with me. Like, you're 21 now. Like, let's burn with us.
Yeah.
I've been smelling that shit for 20 years. I don't want to smoke it for. I don't need to. But, to me, I think it's really about that education and teaching them.
Let me start by saying, so I went into it first. I had expectations first. Okay, so I ate one, and like
the cat bouncing.
and like an hour later, an hour and a half or something, I was like, man, I'm not feeling this at all. I'm gonna eat another one. And now, like, they both kick it at the same time. I think. Well,
yeah.
probably not. No, actually, that's not how that went down. Like, instantly, I just felt like so elevated. Like in a video game, if you could feel the impact of like when your player picks up a bunch of lives, like one of those mega like live power up, like it's like
we can't hear you, Brian.
He's on mute.
Now that we've lost half of our fucking live watchers, I appreciate that, guys. So again, we're 150 subscribers away from 1,000, and I would really appreciate it if you guys did me a solid, help me out there. Now let's move on. All right.
Hey, if I had a chance to buy a Batman Beyond 1/3 print for $500, would you buy it?
Depends on what shape it's in, but probably. I
mean, it's a picture that has like half the book on the side, and it's in Hong Kong right now. But I mean, I can do it.
Let's talk afterwards.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. You want me to spin this?
Well, does it
wheel
have
on
brass
the minute,
staples, Deno? Brass staples are regular.
I think they're brass, but there's no staple evidence, so who knows?
Ouch.
Are you ready?
Did you move
to do a spin there, Paul?
I'm good to go.
All right, guys. Here we go. All of you guys waiting. For all you guys that left, go fuck yourself. You're not. All righty. Let's do it, Paul. Do you want to share your screen?
Yep.
And for the record, yes, Paul did move. Whoever said that.
Yeah. So, do you want to explain? Basically, there were entries that were just exceptional, and there were so many to choose from. It really just became kind of an impossibility to do it fairly. So, I can't say that we could necessarily come up with just one winner. We thank everybody for contributing, and sorry for making y'all wait.
Shout out to whoever noticed I moved. Appreciate it.
Paul, did you rig this so I can win?
These are all my name, just spelled differently. So just
That
we're spinning
wouldn't
once,
surprise
right?
me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I feel like I'm on Wheel of Fortune.
No
Big
whammy,
money,
no
big
whammy,
money, no
whammy.
whammies. Yeah, that's right. Michael Palmer. Congratulations.
Nice.
Congrats, sir.
Nice. His entry was awesome. I remember your buddy George. He's a smart guy. He talked about the Predator and Craven the Hunter.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Thanks for remembering. I just realized how I should not have closed the tab so I could read the winner's entry.
That's all right. Good job, Paul. Thanks for being the technical advisor.
So,
and if everybody's pissed they lost, it's Paul's fault.
Yeah.
I probably left your name off the list.
Do is send your address on.
Oh boy.
We'll have Nico come back and join us again here in a second.
What's the email to send their info to?
I think we should do screenshots every
there he is.
time Nico's screen freezes and just use those frozen pictures as like a collage.
Do you remember when they used to be the thumbnail all the time when you would roll your eyes?
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys did that on purpose, though.
Well, I didn't tell you I could pick the thumbnails. I used to pick the thumbnails, and I was like, they give you like preview sign of inside the video. I'm like, that's the one. That's the one.
Let's do we how do the guy want to contact us? We want to have him contact us at cbsiflipside@gmail.com.
That sounds fantastic.
Okay. For the winner who won tonight, please contact us at cbsiflipside@gmail.com, and we'll get you hooked up. You just won yourself a really sick book that is going absolutely crazy right now. So, all right, let's go. We got some other goodies for you guys tonight. So why don't we get into that? Let's how about we start the prospective report. Let's do this. So I guess there's some news that we want to kind of talk about that Nico is going to help us with, if and John maybe. Nico, you good? Nope, he's frozen. He's frozen.
Everyone's frozen.
She's leaving me hanging here. Jeez. Well, so some concept art leaked from the Shang-Chi movie.
I don't know. Go on.
You're just messing with me.
Oh boy.
Okay, go ahead. He's gonna come back.
All right. Well, we'll just go. We just wanted to share some concept art was coming from the Shang-Chi movie. It looks interesting. Looks good. You know, it's one of those characters that kind of is hard to imagine what they're doing with it. So it's kind of good to see some concepts coming out. The book is kind of cold, so maybe a time to keep kind of watching. I don't think you're going to get a high grade cheap, but some of these mid and low grades you may be able to snag at auction fairly cheap. So keep an eye on it.
This is an interesting one because I've had multiple people over the last couple of days hit me up and ask me about this and this information about this exact spec. Oh, there we go. And Nico's back. There we go.
Yeah, am I doing okay now?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you perfect timing right as we got to the Star Wars stuff. So have at it.
All right. So this is pretty interesting. Topher did a heck of a job of reporting on this, I think, already on IG and I believe the Comic Book Invest website. For those who are unfamiliar, this group appears in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. This is their first appearance in comics in Star Wars number 19. It's a 1-in-100 variant. Earlier today, you could pick them up for about a quarter ratio. I don't know if all those copies have dried up. White books are hit or miss. Sometimes you can buy a 7.0 and clean it up and get a 9.6. Sometimes it's just a wreck because it's a white cover. So I I don't know, be judicious, but I think it's an interesting play. The news broke today, as I assume everybody's already discussed, on this group of Empire Stormtrooper clones. I mean, they are kind of like Imperial badasses, and it's cool. There's likable characters. I think we'll potentially see everybody that survives the Clone Wars animated series popping up on this show, and that's why Filoni and company sort of honed in on this group.
I like this group. I think it's a great spec pick. A lot of people are looking forward to it. Yeah.
Is it the Expendables for Star Wars?
You got it. Special Forces group. They're basically like a Special Forces group for Star Wars.
This is going to be on Disney Plus, or
Nico, do you know what the show is going to be on?
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Okay.
It's going to be animated, though.
Yes, right?
It's like Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I know something. Okay.
I love that cover too. I don't know. I just like that the art of the trooper behind her. That's dope.
I will say the black and white of that cover looks better than the color.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like the color version of that cover.
I agree. All right, on to the next one. This one is I almost thought about not wanting to show this because I really like this spec, and that's the Star Killer spec from Star Wars Force Unleashed.
Oh boy, sorry.
You're good, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so Star Killer is an incredibly popular character, within the Star Wars expanded universe community. Collectors love him. The Star Wars Insider 119 is featured here on the right side of your screen. Gorgeous cover. He first appears in a trade paperback, which is probably on the shelf of your local comic shop. Books have dried up online. Remember when I told you I ordered 5 books and they canceled them? Like, sorry, they all got damaged. Yeah.
Ouch.
Not real.
Well, that makes me even angrier, man. Damn.
So
that's a bummer.
Well, it is what it is.
And a quick.
But, all I'm saying is, go get them.
Yep. And for all you non-Star Wars fans out there, Star Killer was the original name for Skywalker. And obviously they changed it. And it would have been Luke Starkiller instead of, well, not really, but the hero's name would have been Starkiller. So very interesting.
Yeah, so it's Galen Merrick. It's Galen Merrick, right? You can play him on the Star Wars Force Unleashed video game. You can play either as a hero or a villain and go through different storylines. He survives the video games and the graphic novel. There are some who are like, he can't show up. Vader's integral to his storyline. They can't do him in live action. Others are saying, well, they just do those sort of like Vader scenes as flashbacks and voiceovers, and this guy's got a future. He's incredibly powerful. I think it's a smart buy, particularly at like a $10, $20, $30 buy-in for the graphic novel. It's a no-brainer.
What's the trade paperback?
The first appearance.
No, but what was it? The image on the left, that trade paperback, or that's the game,
one that
right?
Image on the left.
Oh
no, that's the image on the left. That's the trade paperback.
Sweet.
And like Marco is saying that there is some up and down on this, and we might have some stuff coming that we might talk a little bit about this here in the future, but we're not going to get too much into it. So, all right, on to the next one.
There's our winner.
There he is. Congratulations to the winner. Michael, if you can hit us up at cbsiflipside@gmail.com. And
he's dropping knowledge too, man.
Yeah, we'll get some info sent your way, or you'll give us some info sent our way, and then we'll get a book sent your way. So congratulations. On to this next one, Lady Loki, seen on set. I don't know what to think about this one.
I don't know what to think about the whole
All right,
show.
so that's the second print of Journey into Mystery 622. It obviously has the Tom Hiddleston photo variant cover. This was my pick on the back nine, or pick your favorite Thor book, or I do a bad job of exactly knowing what people are asking me to do, or back nine. All right, good job, thanks. I like it for one simple reason, that they're dirt cheap online. 10, $20 black cover. It doesn't really matter if Eichel, the Lady Loki character, makes it, right? Second print of a photo variant of Tom Hiddleston, who is getting his own TV show, is kind of like an iconic figure within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and has a lower distribution, is a good buy. These are things that are still sitting in back issued bins. I'd try to grab them. They haven't popped online yet either. There'll still be an opportunity to do that, I think, for some time to come as we close in on the release of the Loki TV show. But I think it's a smart play.
Well, even at bare minimum, it's going to be one of those books that people want to do at con signings for years, because it's a photo variant.
Yeah,
they're going to want it. If you're a dealer at a show and he's there, you'll sell that for $30-$40 all day.
Good point. Ben keeps changing his background without saying what movie.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to buy that book for $30-$40
for very long.
All right, a couple more. This is a fun one. Nico?
Batman 32, 1/25, Terry Moore variant. I like this book. There's still a delay, and I apologize if I'm talking over you guys. I'm going to shut up after we finish these books, but I think this is an interesting sort of factoid. We're seeing Reeves pull images out of Batman generally. This one came from the Tinian Snyder run in the New 52. This is a super cool book. I don't know if we put up the image, but you can actually buy the original art. It's available right now for $7,000, which is super cool online from the artist. So
I'm gonna buy it right
I think
now,
it's interesting.
guys.
I'm very interested in Batman spec. Yeah, I'm very interested in Batman speculation and investment as we move closer and closer to the forthcoming HBO Max series, and of course the Matt Reeves film trilogy, however many they drop. But neat book. I think if you can get it for ratio, it makes sense, particularly because that's an iconic image. All right, so we're talking about the Batman stuff. A lot of people are really excited about Gotham Central, although it wasn't mentioned in the announcement by HBO Max of the forthcoming television series. Topher and some of the other CBSI contributors talked about this run. I talked a little bit about the last issue. I think it's 13, 14, and 15 in the weekend update. This was the only arc from that Gotham Central storyline that you could sell for a long time. So, obviously the first issue, issue number 1, obviously the last issue, number 40, are meaningful if Gotham Central is in fact the plot device that's used for the live action HBO series. If it's not, I still think this is a smart buy with the Joker war going on, grabbing these out of long boxes for $2 or $5 or whatever, or grabbing them out of dollar bins. I think you'll see sets of these start to move online as more and more collectors begin to hone in and speculate on what this TV show is going to be about, and get excited about the Joker's introduction to the HBO Matt Reeves Batman verse.
Very cool. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let's see here. What do we got next, gentlemen? You guys, before we get into pickups, actually, I want to give a big shout out to the one and only Mighty Mel V, who is on. He comes and joins us on the Hot 10 every once in a while. He's been very good. That we've been very lucky about getting him on the show the past couple weeks. And he's just a lot of fun to do shows with, and he's very exciting to watch on his own show, which is called It's Drunken Chat, Son. And we're actually going to go ahead and play a little fun stuff that happened over the weekend over at It's Drunken Chat, Son. This is a Darkness special variant.
Look what you know what to do. Spin the wheel.
All right. Let's go ahead and do the Jason Morbaugh.
Well,
I think we could do this then.
Stop it. Stop it.
Both are 9-8 words. Okay, so who's spinning the wheel?
Right here, the wheel is here.
All right, just let me know when you're ready. Go ahead. Here we go.
Oh, the wheel does bingo.
Oh, Joe. Wait, Jason Morbaugh.
He won again. Yo, he's a big.
And I shuffled it again. So.
And it was funny because he even asked, "Can you win twice?"
Motherfucker.
It is Drunken Chat, Son, man.
It's Drunken Chat, son. It is Drunken Chat. Now, Jason, you were the winner.
Yeah, I got very, very lucky. I'm very fortunate that you literally asked right before the on the wheel, "Hey, can you win twice?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, you can."
Winning 1 was absolutely stunning. Winning 2 was just ridiculous.
How did you find Drunken Chat?
So I always go to the CBSI website, and as I was on YouTube, I decided to look up CBSI and saw that their top 10 was on there. And as I was watching that, and I saw the Drunken Chat, and I'm like, why not? So tonight was my very first night, obviously, in this
Really?
chat.
Yo, thank you.
This is amazing.
Listen, you're not the winner. We're the winners because you joined us. I really do appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that.
So make sure you guys go check out It's Drunken Chat, Son.
You know who Mel V? You know who Mel V reminds me of is Action Bronson.
Yeah,
he's got the Action Bronson vibe.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go check out Mel over on his YouTube channel. He's got some big news coming about his YouTube channel over the next couple of weeks. But also make sure, more than anything, you go follow him on Instagram. It's at It's Drunken Chat, Son. And he gives away crazy books. The books, he's got this thing going on where he loves giving away books. He basically stays up all night, and he's got all kinds of different people coming on the show, and it's just talking comics, spec, fun stuff, drinking, this and that. And he gets crazy and gives away crazy stuff, and then he asks people to give away crazy stuff on his show. Big shout out to Dollar Bin for giving away, obviously, 2 massive books. He obviously gave away the second print variant set, and Jason won both of them, and it was absolutely crazy. But it was rightly so, because it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so make sure you guys go check out It's Drunken Chat, Son.
And if you're an East Coaster, man, fasten your seatbelt, because you're in for a long, long ride.
Yeah.
Mel is
Next
East
thing
Coast.
you know, it's 4 or 5 a.m., man.
The thing is, Mel's East Coast.
you guys want to get into pickups?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, who's up first? I still got to grab mine, so why don't I get skipped?
I've only got one.
All right, let's go with Ben first.
Yeah, so I'll go. I do. I like pre-code horror, but most of the time I can't afford it. So somebody, Van Denby, showed me this cover, and I was like, okay, I must have it. And it's apparently pretty hard to find. It's an incentive variant of Grass Kings, but it is a sweet-looking book.
Oh, you found one?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I bought that. I think there's only one on eBay right now, and I'm not even sure the guy's got the right book because he said it's the A cover. But this is the incentive variant. So yeah, it's
Did you get it for $1?
No. I actually paid money, actual money
You
for
really
it.
like that book, Ben.
I did. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And it's funny, I've got a book coming that I did only pay cover price for, but I got a book coming that's similar to that, and it's kind of in the same vein that I'll have next week. Yeah, so that was my big one pickup. But try and find that one because I honestly, there's just not very many of them out there. I checked Midtown, I checked my comic shop, I checked all the big places, and I couldn't find it. So
What's that book?
Grass Kings number 12, the incentive variant.
Yeah, the one on eBay is like $55.
Oh boy.
Who knew Grass Kings made it to number 12? Jesus.
Right.
No, that's a beautiful cover. Do you have what one were you going to pair it with?
I'm going to pair it with. Hold on, I will tell you. It is. Let me go back to my eBay, see what I bought. Which I never buy stuff on eBay, but it's from the Creepy series. And hold on, I'll show you what that one is. If I can't type, then I will share my screen.
Are you going to display them together, or you just flip it together? Or
I would like to get 9/8 of both of them.
Good luck on a creepy book. Shit.
Well, no, it's a modern creepy. It's not. It's a from the dark book, which are really hard to find as well. But this is a. This is a.
It's beautiful.
It's the Julian Tedesco or the Tedesco cover, and it's kind of the same thing where it's got the water and all the monsters and stuff are below the water. But yeah, gorgeous cover. But the only ones that I've seen of this are they list them at like VF or fine or very fine. Like there's no, I've not found like a near mint plus copy yet. So
oh, holy cow, that's a beautiful book.
Yeah. So I got one coming. Hopefully it's in good a shape as they said it was, but my guess is probably not.
I'll go next. So I claim.
Wait, two books we've never seen.
2 books no one's ever seen.
Like, I'm making a claim, but Deno making that claim, I'm confused.
Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Let me okay. So I was out at a comic book store. They did cards as well, and I sent Stein 2 cards, and we said, we passed on.
Hey, let me just say, I'm the Mantle. I might consider the Mantle.
He said it was a 4. I was like, yeah.
It may have been. It looked nice, unless there was a crease that I couldn't see from the picture you sent me.
I didn't see the back either. I only saw the front.
If you take it out and there's no creases,
yeah,
you could make some good money off that.
The maze didn't look
no, the maze was a 1.
Yeah. So 2 books no one's ever seen. So I was at the comic book store and I said, let's do this. And it's I made it. It's called Night Night Groot Volume 1. It's everyone's favorite kids book. So that's his first comic book, or I guess comic book related book. So it's Groot goes to bed, and I was so gracious. I went with. I haven't read this to him yet. First Day of Groot. I don't even know what's in this one. Volume 2. So I bought those for a lovely $12.99. And they have like a dust cover on them, but I think I took the dust covers off, and I went with just a regular hardcover. So, but
That's
it's funny.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Those are exceptional.
Thank you. Written by Brendan. I'll give him some love. Brendan Deneen, and artwork by Cale Atkinson. So
is the bedtime by Groot always I am Groot? I'm Groot.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So, yes, it's I am let's see. So yes, he always there it is. Right in the first panel. Look at
Deno's kid's gonna think its name is Groot.
I hope so.
It makes life way easier to read a story when those are the only words.
And they have check this out. People are gonna go crazy because they have like Captain Marvel in here. They have other it's not just Guardian stuff. I was really surprised. People are gonna lose their minds over this.
There's a first appearance?
Yes, I think so. Well, I was surprised they put him in this book, and as I'm graciously going through all these,
we are specking children's books now.
Dude, I hope it's Cosmic Ghost Rider.
No, look, Moon Knight. Moon Knight's in a kid's book. Can you believe that?
What?
That's so strange.
Brilliant.
They keep watch over you and guard the door. What? Moon Knight's gonna be guarding my door?
An evil specter in a white suit. Perfect.
And then they got Doctor Strange lifting up people. Well,
I got nightmares already, Deno.
I don't even know who this. Anybody know who this is? There's a guy at the bottom. Just a random dude, maybe.
Yeah, he's on an ASM cover that nobody
First
cares
appearance,
about.
buddy. First appearance.
Oh, look at this. They even got Nova in the damn book, man. This is like, forget Nova ones and all this other crap. Get these books, man. I mean, they got look, they got everybody in here.
Nice.
They even got Spider-Man, Wood Guardians again. This is pre-Avenger stuff, boys. When was this printed? I don't even know. We gotta look.
Head to your local Barnes and Noble. We are specking children's books, guys.
I'm trying to.
Beyond normal spec, we're going.
Okay, so this is the first edition, boys. I'm gonna get it signed. First edition, 2017, boys. So
wow.
You want to see me out here?
Going retro, Deno.
And it's got a Flipside tape on it, it looks like.
I know.
That totally is a Flipside tape.
I wonder
they
if
stole that from us. Damn
I
them.
know. So
it's beautiful.
Thank you. So so that's what I went with. He had back issues. They're all like long boxes. You know how this is. Long boxes under like a makeshift wooden like garage table bench you would work at kind of thing. And it was like they had new X-Men, AVX, 52. What else did he have? A bunch of like dollar bin Valiant books that I really didn't care about. I don't know. I was like, he's not gonna have anything. And on top, he had Miles Morales stuff, but it wasn't anything gracious. It was just like random Miles Morales books for like $50. I'm like, so that's what I did. So no one's seen these books. So I went. I don't know if there's even more. I gotta look. Night Groot. I should actually look it up right now. But so that's what I went with. The two books.
I kind of want you to do a video of reading Night Groot to us.
Absolutely.
That's going to be our next promo. You know.
Oh, God.
Turn it into the commercial.
I could do it. I think I got my Groot voice down. I've been reading to him every day. So.
Well, then you better be a like and a subscriber so you catch Deno reading Night Groot.
Oh boy, I want to see if he actually has any more books. The art's really good in it. I'm surprised, and the storyline's pretty decent too. So I'm like, it's not bad. So.
Gates, right?
Yeah, the ending's a little suspect.
Oh, boys.
I love our audience. Oh my god.
Oh boys, look at this. I can go to a book event. Can I get it signed by him, you think? And get a CGCSS label? 9.8?
Yes, you can.
The corners are really good. They're really good on these boys. So, I don't know.
You're going to need I'd go CBCS. You're going to need a
authentication.
Witness,
Yeah.
otherwise.
Well, I mean, green label, whatever, man. I mean, hey, they're PC books, okay? Get on my back. Not trying to pay billions of dollars here. So I don't know if he actually made other books. Night Groot. Morbius, Living Empire. Okay, let's see what this guy did. Look at that. Morbius, Blood Ties. Charlie Sheen, Vatican Assassin Warlock. Let's go. Like it. That's all he did.
Wow. I don't know what that's all about, but that's very interesting.
Yeah, Sean, trust us. We definitely know it's a Star-Lord tape. Definitely.
No, I didn't know that.
We're taking him to court for it.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
do you want Star-Lord or Flipside? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Nico's going to represent us.
When I see this, when I see Vortex, the only thing I can think of is that badass cover comic that you sent me, John, that has one of the original first Ethan Van Sciver drawings.
Oh yeah, the Cyber Frog.
Vortex #4.
You know what I think of Vortex? I think of was it the thing?
I do like how he starts his comment. This is unrelated, but, and I'm like, that's our whole show.
Oh, it's Vector. I thought of Vector Vortex. Remember Vector in Sega Genesis?
Well, the fact that I could actually respond to him about the Vortex when you guys probably have no idea what that is.
No, because I've never been to the East Coast.
No, sounds like I ride that all the time. I was there the first ride.
I was. Shut up. I was at Kings Island with the Brady Bunch. Now shut up.
No, I mean, he was on a prototype when it was on a horse and buggy, just kind of rolling around. So, so that's what I picked up. So I
very nice, Deno.
Thank you.
Yep.
So
I'll go because I know Nico's got a good pickup. I've just got average.
I'll go after you. Or who else hasn't gone yet?
I haven't gone.
Okay, you can go next.
So I'm a glutton for punishment, and I'm on spec that dies, lives, but I picked up a Untamed variant 1 in 10.
Oh boy.
Only because it was $10 on eBay because they didn't know what the signature was. It's I did a little Googling. It's Daryl May, who is the art director and chief creative officer. So he's not the artist, he's not the writer. It was just one of the crew who they go to a con as a crew and they just sign because they like it's an event. And I'm like, for $10, I will take it.
Absolutely.
I just watched 2 auctions for this and the standard go for about $160 for the pair. So,
hey, Z, I did actually. Stranger did have a live thing on Instagram last week, and I listened to a brief amount of it, and they did mention that they are still moving forward with HBO.
I read on IMDb that it was called the Sunda or whatever, all these things that is supposed to be called, and everything I read right now is that it's supposed to be called The Untamed is the first series coming to HBO. So to me, that makes that a better play. That it's not only the first book, the first appearance, that they're maybe going with that title. So for $10, I'm going to play that bet all day long.
Absolutely.
And I'll go with one other into the world of crazy foreigns. I picked up another non-canon Spidey. One of the guys in the group sent me this one. I've shown this on 3 Comic Monty as an Aliens cover. It has Gwen passed out in Spider-Man's arms. You can't freaking not win on that. Pretty much we talked about this on the market report that's going to play tomorrow. We've pre-recorded, hint. But we talked a little bit about non-canons, and pretty much anything with Gwen on the cover is now about a $400 book. I got it for half of that. Pretty happy with it. So for anybody interested in the foreign market, keep looking for anything with Gwen on it. And that's it today.
Cool.
All right, did we lose Paul? I'll go first since Paul is gone.
How about our buddy being like, I didn't really get that many good books. Like,
who said that?
You.
I said I didn't get many. I have like 1,000 in transit issue.
So I do have comics, but I'm gonna wait for those to so I could talk about cards first. Woo-hoo! All right, so I've decided to quit messing around with opening packs, at least for stuff that I just can't get anymore because it's ridiculous. You can't find these mega boxes anywhere. You can't find Bowman anywhere, and I still love this year's Bowman. You can't find the Sapphire. Those Sapphires sold out like hotcakes. I think they were $250 a box off the gate, and they're selling for like $500 now. It's crazy. But I obviously Bobby Witt Jr. and Jason Dominguez are the two hot prospects to pull out of there. So I bought this was one eBay lot. It was 2 of the Bobby Witt Jr. Mega Box refractors. So I got 2 of those.
Nice.
And then the Bobby Witt Jr.'s image variation refractor.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I like that card a lot. I like it a lot. Then the next score was a guy was selling 4 single sapphire cards and 1 single box of sapphire. And I think he wanted like 900 or 800 for all of them. The reason why I pulled the trigger is because I figured, I think he wanted 800. The boxes were going for 500 a pop. And the other 2 cards, one was the Bobby Witt Jr.
Is that one centered?
It's beautifully centered. I mean, it might be a little bit off left to right, but
that card's notorious for being off left to right. So you can tell by the baseball. If you can see blue on the other side of the baseball, then it's about as good a center as you can get.
No, you can barely. It's barely just covered. But this one is freaking dead. It looks dead set. Bada boom.
Nice. That's an expensive card.
Yeah. So I figured I'm getting a guaranteed Bobby Witt, a guaranteed Dominguez, and 1 box to open, right? And I was just going to hold on the box, but you guys know me.
And Deno's not here to yell at you.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you open it off camera?
I did. I opened it with my pops. Hold on. I opened it with my dad. So I probably should have done that on camera even more. But what I forgot to say is, so there was 4 single cards and then the box. And then the other 2 single cards that were there was a Lency Delgado, who is a shortstop for the Sox, auto. Beautiful. He's got a nice little auto. I like how it says Sapphire up there under the – if you get just the base Sapphire auto, it says Sapphire under the Bowman symbol in gold. It's beautiful. Here is – and then this was the other one. This is numbered to 50. Number 13 of 50, John Rave, who's an outfielder for the Royals. I mean, just beautiful cards. These Sapphire are so gorgeous. And then, so the box. All right, so here's the box. So my auto wasn't that great. You get about, on average, well, every box will have an auto, and then on average, you got really good odds of pulling at least 1 color. Some boxes don't have color, but here's my auto. My auto wasn't great. It is Eric Rivera. He was 121st overall. So, my color was nice. It was numbered to 15. It's Bryson Stott, number 9 of 15. And Bryson Stott was 14th overall.
Is that a first Bowman?
I don't know. I think maybe his first Bowman was in draft. I have to double check because sometimes on these Sapphire they mess, or the Bowman, they don't put the first Bowman, but I'm pretty sure he was in draft.
Okay.
But here's the cool stuff. So another kid that's really good in this set is this Bayron Laura, which is a first Bowman for Texas.
Sweet.
Yeah. But the cool part was this. No more. I didn't get any of the other Dominguez's, but
you have 2 Bobby Witts out of the same box.
2 more Bobby Witts out of 1 box.
Sweet.
And you want to hear something crazier? I got some more Bobby Witts heading my way, just because I really like this kid. I think this kid is gonna. You can get his cards cheap compared to the Dominguez, and I think this kid has a chance at being just as good. He's a 5-tool prospect. He's the son of a player, shortstop. I like them. So, but these are beautiful. And you mentioned the blue, just the one you can see the blue on. So it's not bad. All right. So those are the cards. Here are the comics I got. I picked these up for cheap. I figure they were worth a shot. I think they have different variants that say different things on them. But the ones I got, I grabbed specifically because I figure Heroes Con is something that's a little bit more well known than like little exclusive stores. But the Spider-Man variant from Heroes Con,
I've never seen that one.
yeah, I got 4 of them, so got
That's
4 of
cool.
those. I got the Secret Wars variant from.
Very cool. I look for that all the time. I found 0 in the wild.
Yeah, these are hard to find. I love it. But this is the one I really like. And I got a steal on it. The guy I don't even know if he realized that Miles was on this. I had no idea. I don't know. But this is the Secret Wars 1 in 100 variant. So I figure, Miles first coming in. I mean, it's probably not his very first time in the 616. What's his very first time in the 616?
I do know this. It's the
Catalyst.
Is it Secret Wars 1?
No, I don't think it's
Catalyst.
Catalyst?
I don't think that's right though.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was Catalyst. I think it's like issue 5 of something. I'll find out. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right. I may be wrong. I thought it was the Catalyst.
I did. That's because I told you that and I was wrong, I think. Sorry. Sorry.
But I thought that was interesting. So those are my pickups.
Good deal.
Paul, you good to go?
Yeah, I'll go next real quick, and then I got to bail.
Okay. Well, we're almost done here, so.
I have a pile of boxes I haven't opened yet. A little echoey in here. My wife and I did move. I don't have my stuff in here yet. So my pickup is the house and the new room that we painted some Flipside colors, as Jon Z pointed out earlier. So we're going to be repping it hard at my house. And so we'll see. It might change every week. I wanted to do a wall
I'm very
behind
proud
me.
your wife let you paint a room orange. That's a bold choice that she let you go with.
Bold people, man. Look who she married.
Did she question you or just say, "It's Paul, I'm cool"?
No, she didn't care.
I love your
Paul
wife.
wears the pants in that family.
right.
She's amazing.
But yeah, I wanted to get a wall behind me like Uzi, but it just didn't work for the layout in the end. I would have had, I think, the window right next to me or something. I don't know. It would have been odd. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the wall space behind me, but I'll try and get something cool up, and I'll put them on Instagram using that Flipside Fan Cave hashtag. So check it out.
You need to get an artist to like airbrush the back of those shades.
Yeah, those aren't going to stay. I don't know what I'm going to do. I could do
like
green
them,
screens like Stein.
No, airbrush the back of them. Like fair food airbrush, man. Paul's problems in fucking pink.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah, I think it flows well.
I like it. I think it looks really good.
Paul.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Pretty stoked for you. All right, who's next?
Nico.
Nico.
All right. For the record, that book, I forget. It's like Miles is going through like a little portal. Somebody in the live chat should know that. It's worth nothing. I always thought that it was like, why wouldn't anybody ever buy this book? But
Nico had shitty pickups.
Yeah, so add me to the long list of people that are buying this. There's like 6 copies on eBay. I thought I should give everybody here on this show the opportunity to buy them before I just break down, spend $300 and close the market out on them. So there's your last warning.
Do you want to talk about why that's a good book?
Oh, Outlawed #1. It's a 1 in 50. We talked about this with Mr. Long Short. Thank you, sir. Great time Saturday. It's got kind of an interesting story. It's reminiscent of the Civil War storyline. So Kamala Khan gets injured. The government outlaws teenage superheroes. This particular cover features Miles, Riri, and Kamala on the cover. And I agree with Mr. Longshort's analysis. There's just something about girls blowing bubblegum on covers of comic books that sends them into the stratosphere. So you can buy them at about ratio, super low distribution under the circumstances. 1 in 50. There's a Walmart variant. a real cool wraparound, but it's basically all of the Gen Z like superheroes. I don't know the right word to call them.
They're sold out already, man, from your other day.
Are they?
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, make sure you guys go check out Mr. Longshort, and make sure you guys go watch that interview because he dropped some other nuggets in there.
Okay. Son of a bee. Should have bought more than just one, but I got one. I'm excited about that. I keep buying these Atlas comics. I got this in kind of a longer deal. I like them. This isn't a particularly rare cover, but it's just in halfway decent shape. You know what I mean? For Golden Age pre-code war books. This is another one. I really like these pre-code romances. So this one, I just liked the cover imagery. I don't know that it's particularly like famous or particularly expensive, but it's also impossible to find. So, you know, maybe there's another guy out there who really likes it like me, and they decide to spend just a boatload on it. Maybe not. I'll be happy with it if I have it forever and ever. Speaking of romances, Jon Z and I joked last time, when you start buying Western comics, you're officially down the rabbit hole. So Flaming Western Romances, LB Cole, how you doing?
That's a beautiful book.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Those Saguaros, man, it got to be in Arizona.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
It looks nice.
It's actually in pretty good shape. It'll press really well. You can see it's off-centered. I assume CCS can fix that. I mean, hell, I can fix that, I think. But is otherwise in pretty darn good shape. That should press out. You know what I mean? Here's another one that I'm hoping cleans up well. So teenage romances. There's 0 GPA data about this sucker. She was well loved, but super short census. I want to say there was like 7 copies on the census. It's a pretty cool book. I couldn't let it get away because it's got a joke about pickups on it. And I was like, oh, I got to show that on pickups. Yeah. So anyway, there's that one. And here's the big boy. Wow!
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Lufine goodness. First appearance of the Golden Age Blue Beetle. Beautiful pre-code horror kind of imagery with a woman in distress, red dress. A lot of this stuff is going to need remediated, right? Like, she was well loved. But the question is really like, can I get a 1.5?
Sorry, I think you can.
Yeah, I think
that is a tough book. I've had it on a watch list, not my main watch list, and it does not come up.
Yeah, so there were 2 copies that have sold in the last 2 years. One was the one I bought from some guy under a tent in the middle of Pennsylvania, and then there was another copy that sold online.
Yeah, I mean, in 5 years I've seen that maybe 6.
Yeah, so what I did was I brought the Overstreet price guide with me, the new one, and the Overstreet grading guide, and I was like, look, dude, this is, because he wasn't a comic guy, he just had like some old comic books. I was like, this is what this book would be worth if it was in near mint condition, $30,000, $27,000. It's not. I think it's probably, you know, like we said, if I get lucky, a 1.5.
Less than a 2 somewhere.
This is what a 2 sells for. This is what a 2 looks like. Do you see how this book is not nice like this one here, or this one here, or this one here? I don't think it's a 2. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to pay somebody a lot of money to, you know, like grade it, try to not restore it, but preserve it with cleaning and pressing. And this is what I can afford to pay you. I pay cash. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Out the door.
Well, I think that's an honest strategy sometimes. The people that don't know what they're doing.
Well, he got ripped off by a comic shop, and he was pissed off about it. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not that guy. We don't do that. I don't like try to play fast and loose with people and hustle them out of books. Just not who I am. And then after his ugly experience, you know, it was like a much harder sort of like, it was harder to build rapport and you know, really kind of like explain to him that, you know, I don't know that the shop necessarily ripped them off. They just didn't really disclose to him what was going on. Like, hey, I got to pay for lights and water and employees, and I can only afford to pay you about this much. And I'm like, look, I don't have any of those expenses. I can afford to pay you this much. And, you know, went over pretty well.
Well, if you're a guy that does some shows and you don't have a brick and mortar and you happen to be at a good show and somebody's selling a book, you can almost do the math and tell what a brick and mortar is going to offer him. You can probably do the math and tell him what an average salesperson is going to do it, and it's probably 50%. If you're going to offer him 60, 65%, and you're still going to make a really nice profit, you're going to win that war most of the time. If you know your numbers, you know what you're going to do, you can offer him the best price in the building and still make money.
We got a couple answers for the Spider first 616. A couple people answered. One says, "Isn't it Spider-Man number 2?" That was from JJ Maxwell. Kyle says he thinks Secret Wars, then Spider-Man number 2.
No.
Dennis Hayes says, "Is it an Ultimatum book?" Let's see here.
Oh, come on. It's like number 5. There's like a little thing on it. They like walk through the portal.
Okay. Oh, they're like hand in hand almost, right?
No, there's like a bunch of them, and they're like all getting ready to go into the 616, like all the ultimate characters. Maybe it is Ultimatum.
Oh, you're talking that Spider-Gwen book. There was original art up for that book for a long time. Spider-Force, Spider something.
We'll have an answer for you next Monday. I'm sure that
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, I wanted to buy that art.
Yeah, nothing anyone will care by then. And I apologize for running my mouth. We should have just gone with that other one that John said that I shouldn't have opened my mouth about the first time. Just shut up now, basically.
I know what it is, and I'm going to be mad I didn't buy it.
Well, we'll leave that on a cliffhanger. We don't want to say thank you to everybody that were in chat this week. We want to say a big shout out to the winner of the Hawkeye second print. Michael, we appreciate it, brother. We appreciate everybody that joined us tonight, and we will see you next week.
Hey, before we shut off, let me tell you where I was this week.
Please, I'm getting text messages about it, Ben.
All right,
like, do you know where he is?
All right, so the first one, I was Men in Black 2. This was the post office where Tommy Lee Jones was at. Then I moved to West Coast. This was 7. This is what's in the box.
Shame on me for not knowing that.
People guess the right answers on these.
Yep. Next, I moved to Jurassic Park. Where the helicopter came in.
I love it.
And last but not least, nobody got this one. Any guesses from the crew?
Karate Kid 2?
No, but I mean, like I said, this is another famous place. A lot of these places are going to be famous places. They're
Is it a Bruce Lee movie?
It is not. This was a scene from The Usual Suspects.
Oh,
wow!
Where the suspects met the guy.
Kaiser Sose?
No, they didn't. No. Yeah, they met the one guy. Anyway, this is from The Usual Suspects, so that's where I ended up. So I will.
I love it.
I'll just have a running. Like if people guess it, I'll move somewhere else in the world. So
we're basically like a barbershop quartet.
Right.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week.